As always, I'm doing this on my own time with my own resources. I've had a couple weeks to reflect on the General Council meeting, and something keeps striking me, and that was the bylaw amendment that came forward in that meeting. The amendment which was put forward at the beginning of the meeting, and which nobody on Tribal Council and the vast majority of General Council had not seen beforehand, was discussed when there were fewer than 100 people in the room. It would basically change our bylaws so that, which currently say that the General Council, in the General Council meetings, the people who are there in person or who are actively in that meeting can make advisement to Tribal Council, and Tribal Council takes that under consideration. This would have changed it so that basically Tribal Council had no choice but to put in effect whatever the General Council voted on, which sounds like a good idea if you have all 3,300 members of the General Council voting on something, but is not a very good idea if you have fewer than 100 or even theoretically 30, which is our quorum, minimum quorum size, voting on something. So imagine 16 people with that minimum quorum deciding that we're going to create a new program that buys houses for people who live in one county but do nothing for anybody else, and no other member of the tribe, or one gave a pay raise, a GWE raise, to those who lived in a certain circumstance where if you're one of these 100 people, you get a $100,000 a year GWE, where other people don't get any and will see their GWEs decrease. These are examples I'm giving. These weren't part of it. What was part of it was the mechanism, or what went forward was the mechanism which would have allowed this. And that was disturbing to me. Basically, one, the push to try and get the first reading done, because it would have had to pass the first reading and then pass with a 2/3 majority to the whole general membership voting. But the fact that if that were to then happen, then it would just be the members in the room. And there's a group of people who really want to go back to how it used to be, which is just the members in the room. They got special privileges when they did that. They were able to kind of have a little more control of their elected officials, because basically the elected officials could kind of buy off the people who are in the room with a, we'll give you this program or we'll give you this. And it's just not fair to all of our membership. So anyway, what happened is that it got delayed by 6 months and will be discussed at the next meeting for the first reading. But I really advise people to get a hold of this amendment that went forward, read it, and understand that this is yet another attempt to take away your rights as members. Your vote by mail rights that were hard-earned. Yes, you would have to pass it by a 2/3 majority for it to ever take effect. But after that, you would no longer have that majority. And I think the speed that this went through was an attempt to try and hide that so that people didn't fully understand what they were voting for. At least that's how I interpreted how it happened. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. Thanks for the time.